This video is about transformations. There are multiple different transformations that you can do. The first one is called a translation. And a translation is just basically a slide. So you'll take the shape that's on the coordinate plane and they'll tell you to slide it left or up or right or down, or sometimes a combination of the two. So let's translate our figure. 2 units to the left and 5 units down. So when we do this, we usually focus on one point at a time. So let's start at this bottom left corner, and we just count 2 spaces. So when we do count, this first spot where the dot is not 1. You have to make a movement to count 1 space. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 left, then 5 down. And we do that with each of the vertices of the shape. 2 left, 5 down. Two left, 5 down. And last one, 2 left, 5 down. And then we can connect them together to make our new shape. Now the original shape is called the pre-image, before we've moved it, and then after we've moved it, it's called the image. If the vertices were labeled, on the pre-image we use the normal letters, and on the image we use an apostrophe, and it said prime, A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. So translation was the first of our transformations. Next is a reflection. So when we are reflecting, normally they ask you to reflect across the x-axis or across the y-axis. So a reflection is like your mirror image. It's going to flip the object. So let's take one vertex at a time again. If we take this vertex and figure out how far away is it from the x-axis. It is currently only 1 space away from the x-axis. We have to go the same amount on the other side. 1 space down takes us here. We are 1 space away from the x-axis, 1 space down, takes us to here. And our last vertex, this one's a little bit longer. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. So we count 6 spaces on the other side of the x-axis. 5, 6. And then we can connect them to make our shape. We can take the same one and flip it across the y-axis. This time the points are a little bit further away. Purple is 1, 2, 3, 4 away from the y-axis. So we continue 4 more spaces to the left. Brown is 2 away, and we count 2 to the left. And orange is also 2 away. So we count 2 to the left. So both of those are the main kinds of reflections. Next is rotations. So rotation is a turn. Most of the time with the rotations, you're not going to have to actually do the rotation. You're just going to have to identify how many degrees has the object been rotated. So remember, without the apostrophe is the pre-image. With the apostrophe is the image. This was the original. This is what happened after it was rotated. When we rotate, we do have 2 directions. We could go clockwise, and that's to the right, or we could go counterclockwise, which is to the left. So we can do a certain number of degrees of rotation. When you see sports like snowboarding competitions, and they do some turns and spins in the air, they call them 180s or 360s. Those are a good example of rotations. So the best way to figure out how many degrees this object has been rotated is to connect two of the corresponding points through the origin. So if I connected D to the origin and then connected it to D prime, whatever angle is here is our degrees of rotation. When it's multiple choice, it's usually easy to tell from the options how many degrees matches with what we've drawn. So if our options were 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, or 215 degrees, clockwise. All of these are going to be clockwise options. Then it's pretty easy to tell that from our options, this has to be 90 degrees. 45 would have been half of that, and this is definitely not small enough to be 45. And 180 has to go in an entire straight line. 180 would have been located over here. So when you do these rotation problems, connect just one set. Don't connect them all or else it will get too messy. Just one set to see how many degrees it's been rotated. Finally, you can do more than one set of steps at a time. So this triangle is translated 2 units right and 1 unit down. Then it is reflected across the x-axis. Now let's do them separately. Let's do our translation first. So we look at a point, we go 2 right, 1 down. Look at another vertex, 2 right, 1 down. And the final vertex, 2 right and 1 down. Now it happened to land where we already had a point. That is completely fine, does not matter if there's any overlap. Then it's reflected across the x-axis. So we're trying to flip it across. So the bottom point was 2 away, and we have to go 2 further. The left point is 1, 2, 3 away, and we have to go 3 across on the other side. And the top point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. So when they do ask for multiple transformations, multiple lists of instructions, just take them one at a time. So that concludes our discussion on transformations.